Hi, my name is Zach Harry, and I will be conducting my mock IEP meeting. Now, for the sake of this video, there will not be any other people in this room besides me. So I have artificial stand-ins over here. I have the parents of the child, Dan. I'll have over here will be our principal of our school, and over here will be the speech therapist. And also, for the sake of this video, Dan's family name will be Smith, as in Dan Smith and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And also, I'd like to point out that my dog and cat are currently outside the room right now, and they may be banging at the door at some time in this video to be let in. So please excuse the noise if that happens. Okay? Now, I'm going to be showing some things that you do correctly in a meeting, and a lot of things you do incorrectly in a meeting. I will stop and point them out as the video goes on. And I will also stop and make time for current members of the meeting to speak. I will not narrate myself. I will point out what they are speaking, what they will be saying during that time. Now, when the parents first walk into the room, I did make the parents aware that they may bring, one of them only needs to be in attendance, but they may bring a second person along with them to help them take notes. So the parents came together with one of them helping conduct the meeting, and while the other one takes notes and asks questions that one parent may forget. Now, to start off with, I would introduce myself and the staff to the parents. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'm glad you could be here. Thank you for your time. So go ahead and have a seat here. Now, I'd like to introduce you to all the staff people that will be helping with the IEP today. Over here, we have our school principal, Mr. Featherly. He introduces himself. And over here, we have our speech therapist, Mrs. Red. And I am Mr. Harry. I am Dan's teacher. Now, Dan is a great student. Let's get started off right there. He's fantastic. He's one of my better students in class, personality-wise. He's funny, he's friendly. He gets along with everyone in the class. Dan is never a problem personality-wise. He's great. And so, if you'd like to tell me a little bit about Dan, that'd be great. Now, this is the spot when the parents would tell me a bit more about Dan. They tell me about his home life, about how he does his homework, and they tell me about what they are concerned about with Dan in school, as in they are concerned about his reading and writing skills. They are not concerned about his math, social studies, or science. He said those are great. They're happy at those grades, and they're happy that he's making friends with everyone. Their only concern is the reading and writing. Yeah, so we are aware that Dan is currently having troubles with reading. He is having trouble identifying single and multi-syllable words in writing. That seems to be his biggest issue, is understanding symbols on paper and making that transition from paper to speech. He's currently reading at a level of about 110 words per minute, which is below average for a 4th grader. And usually when he does our Dibbles test, and he gets about 8 to 10 errors during a reading. So we'd like to see that improved. So, to improve with that, we'll be giving a cold reading to Dan, where he'll read a passage aloud, and with our oral reading fluency score, hopefully of at least 118, as assessed by the Dibbles benchmark goals. We hope to have this taken care of by July 12th. We want to up his oral fluency. We want him to be able to make that transition from paper to speech. Now, is that Dan works quite well with other students. In fact, while he does get distracted during class and has trouble following along, his friends and classmates have no problem helping him get caught up. So I decided that we think he should be able to work with one of his classmates if they so wish. So one of our measurable annual goals, given assistance from a fellow student, Dan will complete sound and symbol assignments with 100% accuracy again by July 12th. I'm saying July 12th because starting today, which is June 27th, we'd like to give this IEP a 3-week trial period to see how everything works out and see if he can kind of bump up his skills by a little bit by then. So everything will be measured, everything will be assessed until July 12th to see if there's an improvement, in case we have to make changes or alterations to the IEP. And we expect Dan to complete 100% on these assignments because he is getting assistance from a fellow student who will be helping him orally sound out words that he cannot, he's having trouble identifying on the page, and helping him learn to identify those symbols or those letter configurations. Now, Mrs. Red over here will be taking 30 minutes a day out of class time a day to personally work with Dan on his phonemic awareness, which is his awareness of of phonemes, which are the sounds words make in layman's terms. And during a 30-minute time period every day, Dan will learn to use his phonemic awareness to pronounce all 44 phonemes that are officially recognized by the International Phonetic Alphabet. Again, with 100% accuracy, as he'll be working specifically with a speech therapist. We hope that he'll be able to recognize every one of these phonemes by July 12th. And to improve his reading rate, his words per minute, I will be taking time out of my day to work with him during the reading period, where, given personal work time with me, the teacher, Dan is going to be expected to complete a Dibbles test, again, at a rate of 120 words per minute, hopefully with only 4 to 5 errors. So we're going to try to up his word per minute rate and try to cut down on the errors. So we're hoping that this will all tie in together and he'll learn to cut down on the error. And as he's recognizing more and more words and be able to pronounce the phonemes, he'll be cutting down on his errors. All right. Now you may note, I've noticed that Dan, he kind of has trouble following along in class because he can't follow the assignments without listening to them. So we're going to cut down on direction time. We're going to give him short, either 1 to 2 step directions. These are easy for him to follow. They don't get too convoluted in his head. So give him a 1 to 2 step instruction, and again, assistance from a fellow student. Dan will follow along with our lectures and participate in the classroom activities, and hopefully with at least 70% of the time. As in, we don't expect him to have a full attention 100% of the time, but if he can pay attention at least 70% of the time with the assistance of another student, then both working together to help out, that would be fantastic. I think he'll be able to participate in class. Now, to supplement all this, we're allowing Dan to have an assignment notebook in class. He uses this to keep track of his daily assignments, and under our current IEP, we would like him to write down, or for us to write down, the 1 to 2 step directions for each of his assignments so he can learn to follow them. Now, if you notice, I didn't give the parents much input. I didn't ask them what they thought of each of these steps. I just had my whole idea, all of our plans wrote down, and I am telling them that's what we're going to do. I kind of gave an explanation for what all the terms were, like oral reading fluency and words per minute and the Dibbles. I didn't even explain the Dibbles test to them. I just assumed that they would know. That's not right. They wouldn't know that. Oh, one thing I'd like to point out is that each of us members has a name tag. That's something I forgot to mention at the start of the video. That was for the sake of the parents. So I kind of rushed through all of my instructions. The manual says measurable annual goals. I kind of just rushed through those, blurted them out, got them to the parents, as in I'm kind of showing that I don't care as much about this meeting. I wanted to get it over with as quick as possible so that there's less time for debate. Okay, that is our mock IEP. You saw there are probably many errors in here, but I'm hoping some of the good things took away. There are some good things to take away. Thank you. Goodbye.